Hello Scorpio, this is your love and relationship reading for November 2018. Just a few more seconds and I'll cut the cards. Okay, your first card is the Empress, Seven of Cups, Four of Wands, Ace of Cups reversed, Seven of Pentacles, Wheel of the Year, and this has been showing up quite a bit just as the Empress, a Nine of Wands, King of Swords, King of Pentacles. Oh wow, two kings. Okay. Interesting here. My first impression, seeing all the cards together, Scorpio, is a misstep where I felt as if you, at some point in the relationship, I felt that you stepped into something, you made a choice, and you're like, no, I take it back. Let me think about this. Your major arcana cards, there are two of them. You have the Empress here. Love, romance, sexuality. It's more of a physical thing, not so much emotional. It's that, it's how the physical and the sexual come together, and fertility, and like I said, usually the Empress, she's a sexual energy, and she also represents a relationship, a very romantic relationship. Doesn't necessarily mean committed, but just very romantic, sexual, strong attraction. And so I kind of feel that when we get to the Wheel of the Year, this could be a change in luck, especially with this Ace of Cups and this Seven of Pentacles right here in the center of your spread, that emotionally you might need to pull back from the relationship. That was my dominant impression. So, some setbacks here. And you do have those cups. And so when I was saying I felt like you regretted a decision, this Seven of Cups is about making emotional decisions. Because the Wizard, the Magician, is saying choose a cup. Choose your destiny. And that's when we get here to the Four of Wands. Celebration. You do choose. But as I said, there seems to be, because you are a water sign, you seem to be pulling back emotionally here. And it's going to hold things up, because Seven of Pentacles is the waiting card. I also think it's interesting how the wands are playing out with water. And then you have the wands with earth. So I feel like the wands are telling me a little bit about what's going on with your partner, how you and your partner are connected, You chose your partner. You made an emotional choice to open up and fall in love with this person. But then, like I said, a reversal, a pulling back of your emotions, waiting. And maybe this is about waiting for your luck to change. So these cups tell me a little bit about what's going on when we get here to the future. You have a warning. 9 of Wands. Learn from the past and be prepared to learn a lesson again, the same lesson. Sometimes the 9 of Wands is about preparing for a fight or a battle. But you see the wands behind her. It means these were obstacles from the past that have put her on notice, and she's prepared to fight again. It's about having strength and determination. She's going to defend herself. Now, this defensive energy is probably appearing in the tarot because you have these 2 kings doing battle. Now, you're a water sign. There's no King of Cups. You have a King of Swords and a King of Pentacles. And they don't necessarily have to represent either you or your partner. It's telling me more about where the relationship is headed, what decisions are going to be made. So I'm starting to see a little bit of a clash here. The interesting thing about Swords and Pentacles, they're both about logical thinking, just thinking. Air is about, the swords represent air, which is about making decisions and judgments. And Pentacles, they're about being practical and logical as well. So I'm kind of feeling that this 9 of Wands is pointing towards a showdown between you and your partner. It's not going to be like a knockdown, drag out fight. It's still going to play out in different ways in your relationship, Scorpios. But I do see sort of like a conflict or an issue over control, wanting to do things your way. How else can I describe it? It feels as if there's you and your partner are going to learn something about each other, or have a conflict where, you know, this emotional reversal that you have. I feel like some of your partners are going to not understand what's going on with you, what your reservations are about the relationship, that type of thing. It's a battle of the minds and intellect, and who is going to get their way. And whatever it is that gave you that emotional reversal, meaning you Scorpios, you're intuitive just like Pisces and Cancer because you're water. But the other thing, Scorpios, what makes you unique is that you love hard and play hard. You can get a little jealous. You can get a little possessive. You can, if you feel someone has crossed you, you can get, just as much as you love hard, you can hate hard as well. So I wasn't surprised that you could have that type of emotional reversal after a 7 of Cups. And so is this, you know, I'm thinking that this little issue here, like I said, I don't see these 2 kings representing working together. I kind of feel these 2 kings in a battle over winning or getting the other person to see their point of view. But let me pull an outcome card, which will help me understand from the Oracle what's really going on. And you have an 8 of Cups. Now, this Eight of Cups is about walking away for a better good. It might even mean walking away from something you don't want to walk away from. And now this is water. So it's interesting how your cups play out here, Scorpio. We have a Seven of Cups, making an emotional decision. And sometimes this is about daydreams and hoping and wishing, and not necessarily being grounded in reality. Then you get the Ace of Cups, a reversal, a disappointment in love. And then the Eight of Cups, walking away. But you're walking away in hopes that there's something better, that you're walking away from things that are not necessarily in your good, okay? But you're doing it for a good reason. Sometimes it's about moving on, okay? And sometimes moving on is a good thing. So for some of you Scorpios, I think for some of you it might be about emotionally deciding, you know, I'm going to walk away from this. I'm going to take a time out. I'm going to set some boundaries until I really feel I understand what's going on with this fire energy and this conflict. And that is not a bad thing. It's a need to not be afraid of losing something. It's about doing what's right for you, okay? And sometimes it can actually mean physical travel, but I feel like it's just more of an emotional shift for you right now, Scorpio. But I think you're going to be okay here, okay? I think it's for the greater good. All right, so that was your reading. Happy birthday! I know some of you had your birthday the last week in October, but most of you are having your birthdays in November. So I want to wish you happy birthday, Scorpios. I hope you make it a good one. Be good to yourself always. And thank you to all my subscribers, my patrons on Patreon, and all of my clients. It was so good to hear from some of you. Thank you so much for your support. As always, I wish you love and light, and I will see you next month.